lectures, you mean, right? All those things.
Yeah, all of our
Yeah,
your
lectures.
spiritual master lecture also.
Hmm.
So hearing is very important.
Yeah, definitely.
We have to keep on hearing. Hare Krishna. So as I said, I'll try to finish it today. Okay, good. Let me share the screen back again. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे. Essence of Bhagavad Gita is to engage in pure devotional service. That's the last section, 56 to 66, that talks about pure bhakti. And that's the essence. The last part that we are going to go through today, 67 to 78, is just the conclusive uh, statements and some takeaway message for us who can read, who cannot read. But Krishna has very nicely concluded Bhagavad Gita by talking verse number 66. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वं सर्वपापभयो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. That's all. Give up all variety of religion. Just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear or worry. We can take some time to discuss that verse a little bit more. See what you understand, how you see the application of those terms. But verse number 66 is called Paribhasa Sutra. It's called Charam Sutra. It's called Pinnacle Verse. It's called the essence of Bhagavad Gita. It's called Seed Verse. As you know, many ways we call that verse. Then after 66, there are a few verses which you can call as Phalashruti. You are hearing Shruti. What is the phala? What is the result of that Shruti? Before Krishna starts talking about that, or before, in fact, Vyasdeva starts talking about it, mentioning about it, he says that who this knowledge should be shared. And that is a topic also that devotees can brainstorm. Who is the right candidate to receive this knowledge? Who this knowledge should be given and who it should not be given. So idam te na tapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana na cha srusrave vachyam na cha mamyo abhayashvyati. So he says that atapak saya, who are not doing austerity, tapasya, tapasya in their life, who are not trying to put the brake, just driving at very fast speed, going very fast speed, breaking all the rules and regulations, all the hurdles that's coming in the way, going through it, crossing everything. Krishna said, don't give it to them because they would not understand it. Their senses are not purified, right? So, nagrahayam indriya, this name of Krishna and Krishna's pastime, senses cannot perceive. Many of you are, many of us are hearing, talking, seeing, but the real perception or real realizations that we are receiving or the degree of essence that we are getting is coming out of your faith. Do you agree with me, everybody? All of us are taking all of this exactly. The depth of understanding is coming from our faith, although our eyes, ear is engaged. But one cannot say that just eyes and ear engagement, unless and until it's fully engaged in bhakti, for sure, it purifies, then it develops more hankering for hearing. But whatever realization and degree of understanding that develops based on one faith. More faith you have, the more trust you have, the more you believe in, the more, oh, Krishna is saying, Sardhaman Pariteja, I'll try to get out of all this variety of religion. So somebody who has very strong senses means mind, intelligence, and they think that they can understand what Bhagavad Gita is talking. Never, ever. And abhaktaya, who is reading Bhagavad Gita for philosophical and mental speculation. They can say blah 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 blah, but one has to follow four regulative principle. Tadvidhi pranipatena praniprasnena shronaya uptachanti te jnanam jnanistatvadarshina. Who is practicing under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, they can conceive it. And Asru Save, the one who is disobedient, who is hearing or who is not willing to hear. Oh, I know. Most of the time when we go for a book distribution, you say somebody, can you please take the copy of Bhagavad Gita? Oh, we have it. We have read it. Really? Have you understood it? If you would have understood it, then you would be on the other side of the fence, saying, please take the copy of Bhagavad Gita. So not to those persons who are not willing to hear. And then he says, Abhayasuyati, Abhayasuyati, the one who is envious. Envious person should also not be given this message. So these four personality should not be taught this science. But to whom this message should be given, and when he heard or when he's hearing with due attention, what benefit he gets. Ya idam paramam goyam mad bhakteshu avidhiyashati, avidhiyashati, avidya engage in devotional service, avidhashati, bhakti mai param kritva mam evashyati asamsayaha. He attends pure devotional service and come to Krishna without any doubt. So we went through that verse. There are other verses that keep on talking about benefit of preaching the Bhagavad Gita and benefit of hearing the Bhagavad Gita. studying Bhagavad Gita. So we went through this verse also, I believe, last time. Krishna says that the one who talks about this subject, he says, there is no servant who is more dear to that devotee who is teaching this science to others. So on that foundation, we all should be engaging in teaching and preaching of Bhagavad Gita. Bhakti Vriksha should be going on. What is the benefit of studying Bhagavad Gita? One who studies this sacred conversation of ours worship by his intelligence a sacrifice of knowledge. So ultimately the one who has heard this knowledge with due attention, they finally engage in worshipping of Supreme Personality of Godhead by his intelligence. All of you, most of our ISKCON devotees, they are very intelligent. So they're very advanced. All IITians are there in ISKCON. This I hear. This all very educated people. Corporate people, professors, scientists. All of them are, you know, in ISKCON. Krishna says that one who hears with due attention, adhyasayate means studies. Adhyaya karna, adhyayan. Comes from adhyayan. You know that, right? So adhyasate chaya imam dharmyam samvadam avvaya ज्ञान यज्ञेन तेनाहम इष्ट श्यामिति इति मे matihi. This is my me matihi. It is my understanding. Krishna said, it is my opinion that one who adhyasate, one who studies this, what happens? This science, he becomes evolve his mental concoction and with his full intelligence, jnana yagena, he engages in ishtaha, in the worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So anybody who has intelligence after reading this profound science will engage in devotional service. That's not you and I are saying. Bhagavad Gita is saying. Sradhavan anusasya anusuyasya shunayad api yo naraha so api muktah subhalokam prapnuyat punya karmanam. Shraddhavan, the one who listen this with faith, and anasuya, anasuya is coming, without envy. So this personality, the four personality that we gone through, they cannot hear this with faith, right? This is faith. The fifth word is very important. Hearing with faith. If you have no faith, oh, there is no Krishna. You don't have even that basic, faith that there is Supreme Personality of Godhead and his name is Krishna and he is talking to Arjun, then this message will have not that gravity. The weight would not be there. And then he should not be envious, without envy. What happens to that person? Prapanuyat. He he obtains. What he obtains? Punya karmanam. He attains pious credit. And muktaha. So api muktaha subhalokam. He becomes free from all the sinful reactions. They say that karma free diet, right? Krishna consciousness, the whole package is karma free diet. So these are the Falasruti verses. You can read it. You can read the verse, these verses. You can read the purport. Then, after hearing, Arjun is going to share his realization. And this is the last verse, verse number 72, that Krishna spoke. He said, Kasid etad shrutam partha tvaya ekagrena chetasah. Ekagrena chetsa. It's called chesta. You know? So, tvaya ekagrena chetasa kasid agyana sammoha pranastas te Dhananjaya. O Dhananjaya. O Arjun. Shrutum Partha Toya Ekagrena. If you have heard this whole discussion, Ekagrachit Saha, with fully pointed. And this is one of the things that I I personally try to work, absorb, like so many distractions, so many things in the mind, so many things coming and going, coming and going, coming. And one thing you talk, and then you suddenly forget because something else is coming. Then second thing you talk, then third thing, is coming. Like mind is, kind of a river, with ideas and thoughts, process and work and everything that you have to do. But it's not good, because it what it does is that it doesn't let you focus, doesn't let you be pacified, doesn't let you think and absorb in Krishna. So things are there. If I have one thought process going on right now, okay, I'll take that thought and work on it, and then switch the topic to different things. So I have right now one project. Okay, I'll call. Maybe I'll call Bina Mataji. Mataji XYZ done. That time nothing else going on. So a little bit, being which I'm not 100% doing, but we have to try to do that. So Krishna is saying that did you hear it with full attention? And after hearing this, Kasida Jnana Sammoha. He says, did your ignorance get dispelled? Did your illusion, bewilderment that you had, you know, Agyan, what Agyan Arjuna has? I'm this body. They are my relatives. They are my seniors. They are my juniors. They are my, you know, uncle and aunt and guru and grandfather. And what illusion, bewilderment he has? I would not fight. Why should I fight? What I'm going to get after fighting? So he's saying that Kashida Jnana Sammoha Pranastas. O Dhananjaya, did your Agyan and Sammoha, did your ignorance and bewilderment got completely Pranastas, dispelled? Did it help? Right. I'm going to also ask at the end of the day, the devotee, how was the overall experience? Please be prepared to answer this question. Did I do good job? Where is the area for me to improve and all of that? You can share before I get into the next chapter. So, O Partha, have you heard this with attentive mind? Ekagrena. And Kasita Jnana Sammoha, Krishna is checking. Did your ignorance and bewilderment that you had is dispelled? Wow. You know. Then Arjun will say, yes, my dear Lord, Nasta Moho Asmritir Lavda Tvat Prasadam Mayachuta Stito Ashmi Gata Sandeha Karishe Vachanam Tva. Nashto Moha. Yes, my dear Lord. My moha, illusion is nasta, it's gone. Asmritir lavdha, and I have regained my memory. What is meaning of regaining the memory? Means I have realized that I'm not this body. The illusion that I had, that I'm the body, and this relationship are there. But he is saying a very important thing here. Tvat prasadam Maya Achyuta. Oh my dear Achyuta, oh my dear Lord, infallible Lord, that happened by your mercy. That is happening by your mercy. So everything that we do in devotional service, it's happening because of Krishna's mercy. And sometimes, for devotee, these words are very repetitive. Our mind will always say, I want to hear something that I have not heard. But that not should be the mood. The mood is that whatever I have heard, trying to digest, redigest, think, rethink, see how we can make that gyan very practical in our life. So it's all happened, my dear Lord, because of your mercy. Sthito asmi gata sandeha. Sthito asmi. Now I am firmly situated. From what? From where he situated? Gata sandeha. The doubt that I had, the, the doubt has dispelled. The doubt has gone, and I'm I'm now firm. What is that firmness? That now I know. I have the knowledge. All that in chapter that Krishna has spoken. Karise vachanam toya. My dear Lord, now I'll follow your instruction. This is not just some. This has application. I'm not going to take the time. Application. And application is what? Because Arjun is saying here, Karisaya vachanam tava. I'll do it. I'll do whatever you ask me to do. So we all have to say, my dear Lord, Karisaya vachanam tava. I'll engage in your devotional service. Okay. It's very, very important to engage. If you have understood, you talk to people, they say, I understood. I know. But you ask them to do some service, they'll come up with thousands of excuses. I cannot do it because I have this, I have this, I have that, I have that. It's okay if they have some service going on. That's fine. But if we are not using ourselves more and more in Krishna consciousness, that means there is something else which is consuming our time for sure. But our goal is to consume our time in Satataeva Asmarnam Vishnu, Vishmartavana Jat, always remembering Supreme Lord. We don't want to forget Him. And how we always remember Him? By engaging. By engaging in His devotional service. So Arjun is saying that I'll do, my dear Lord, whatever you want me to do. So we all have to say that yes, if I have understood the science, then we have to ask ourselves. We have to tell ourselves that yes, I have understood it. I'll try my best. Pass and fail. There are acharyas, Prabhupada, senior devotee. They will grade. I don't have to grade myself. I just tried my best. Wherever boat is, whatever far I can take it, I'll take it. Remaining, I let Prabhupada and others to decide. So it's very important to say that I'll engage in your devotional service. Then the conversation has over, and now screen is or camera is focused on Dhritarashtra and Sanjay. It started from Dhritarashtra and Sanjay, and Sanjay was working as a camera for Dhritarashtra and looking at, his focus was on Krishna. He is seeing the whole narration, hearing whole narration, seeing whole narration, and sharing as he is seeing and hearing to Dhritarashtra. Now camera is back, okay, because we are wrapping up. So what Sanjay is saying, iti aham vasudevasya पार्थस्य च महात्मनः संवादम इमं अश्रुषम अभूतम रोमहर्षणम. He's saying, I heard this samvad between Vasudeva and Partha. This great Mahatma, he's saying. I heard the conversation between this great Mahatma, samvad. And what's happening is that Imam Ashrusham, after hearing this, Adbhutam Romaharshanam, I'm feeling very, wonderful. I'm feeling very different. I feel I have enlivened. I have received something very high. Because please be informed that Sanjay is also hearing everything. So as Arjuna for pure devotee, transformation is more for Arjun, but Sanjay also is hearing everything, and after hearing, he's also going through tons of realizations and transformation. So he says that I have heard it's so wonderful. It's great. And after hearing this, Urama Harshanam, my hairs are standing. Vyasas prasadat srutavan etad guhyam aham param yogam yogeshwarat krishnat shakchat kathayatah swayam. Oh, sakshat, sakshat, right? Directly I have heard this by the mercy of Vyasdev. I have heard this most confidential talk. I repeatedly recall this wonderful sacred conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, and I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment. I don't know. None of us can experience how Sanjay would be feeling, and Krishna is showing his Vishrupa, sharing this to his dear devotee Arjun. Tatsah samsritya rupamati adbhutam hari. Vishamayo me mahan rajan hishyami cha punah punah. He's talking exactly like pure devotee. He says that rupam ati adbhutam hari. Hope we can also see Krishna one day. Seeing his wonderful form, I am struck with wonder, Bismaya, and I rejoice, Hirshyami, Cha Puna Puna repeatedly. My hairs are standing again and again. So Sanjay is sharing his experience. Then he is giving powerful, he is very much concluding to the thrust, saying that I know the fight is going to happen. They are there, they will fight, they will have, all of that back and forth. But I can tell that who is going to be the winner. Sanjay very much predicted that what's the outcome. What he's saying, Yatra Yogeshwarah Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhanaha. Wherever there is this Yogeshwara, Yog Ishwara, Yogasya Ishwarahati, Yogeshwaraha, is master of all the yoga, internal potency and external potency, and all the energies, Bahya Shakti or Antrika Shakti, all this yogesh, all the yoga, his Antrik and his Bahya. He is the master of all of that. So wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mysticism, and Atra Partho the Nurdana, Atra, and wherever there is Arjun, the Nurdana, the supreme archer, what will happen? Tatra, Atra and Tatra, Yaha Vaha, in Sanskrit we say. So Yatra here, Tatra there. So Yatra, wherever we have Supreme Personality of Godhead and Arjuna, this best combination. Tatro, what will happen? Sri. Sometimes people say devotees are poor. Wherever there is bhakti, why there Lakshmi will be not there? They will be there. It says here, Sirir will be there, opulence will be there, prosperity will be there, Bigyayo, Bijayo, it's Bijayo, sorry. Tatra Sri Bijayo Bhutir. Bijayo means victory. And Bhutir means extraordinary power and power. Dhruva Nitir. Dhruva means for sure. Dhruva, Dhruva se Prityaja, Dhruva Nisevata. So Dhruva for sure. Nitir, wherever there is morality being followed. Matir Mama, that is my opinion. My opinion is that these four things, opulence, victory, bhutir, extraordinary power, and nitir, morality. Wherever these four things are, certainly, or wherever Krishna and Arjuna is, certainly these four things will be there. Let's put it that way. That is my opinion. So in that he says that the victory, combination of Krishna and Arjuna is so powerful that victory is going to be in their favor. So that's how Sanjay concludes Bhagavad Gita. My plan is that right now all of our memory is very good. So I'm going to recap the entire thing. I have slides for recapping, not now, but that will be as a bonus information, which I finish the course. You all have finished the exams and everything else. We have applied for the certificate and everything else. Then I'll give some additional time for us to go through these series of verses and have a recap. But with that, Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. बोलिए श्रीमद् भागवत गीता की जय. So that's how we are concluding Bhagavad Gita, and we have to start getting into next module. So please think
Jai.
about the date. Yes, please think about the date when we can give the exam. Let me know, and I'll recap once we have the date for the exam. But I would like to. It's 11:33. I would like to little bit brainstorm on one of the topic here, either 66 or 67 verse, one of that verse, and then give you little bit 1 or 2 minutes to talk. Which we have three books: Isopnisad, Nectar of Instruction, and Bhakti Samrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction. In last batch, what I did, which I liked, I went from Bhagavad Gita to Nectar of Instruction, and then I did Nectar of Devotion.
Mm.
And last book was Upanishad, because Upanishad has very kind of uh, complex or very I would say that covered verses,
Meanings.
meanings. So sometimes if we don't have sufficient background of bhakti, sufficient understanding of what is bhakti, what is not bhakti, then we can take in a wrong connotation. We can take the wrong meaning of those verses. So
Mm.
Isopanishad definitely is going to be the last, no doubt about it. That's for the devotee who are very much gone through the angas of bhakti, understand what are the different stages of bhakti, what exactly is expected from us. We are fully or firmly grounded in bhakti. At that stage, it makes sense going to Isopanishad. That's how I have found, and that's how I'm going to do also. That's my style. It might be different for different devotee. It's not about the thickness of the book, it is about content. And I think that Isopanishad should be uh, your last book. You'll
Mm.
quickly go through it. But Nectar of Instruction, I'm fine if you prefer to go through Nectar of Instruction or you prefer to study Nectar of Devotion. I can tell you the most time consuming module you have is first three module, which is coming from Bhagavad Gita, and then the nectar of devotion. Once we are done with these four, the nectar of instruction and Isopanishad is going to be relatively faster, I can tell you. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, you can take some time to understand the basic concept. We'll have a little bit more back and forth. So I would uh, I would be fine, whatever works with all of you. But let's talk a little bit about one of these verse. So which verse I'll let you choose? Which verse you wanna brainstorm? Verse number 66, where Krishna says that pure bhakti is the essence of everything. He spoke this verse, Charam verse, or 67, where he says who should be given and who should not be given the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Which verse you wanna brainstorm a little bit? 10, 15 minutes. Just
66,
choose one of them. Ah,
66, Prabhuji. Charama Sloka.
66. Charam slot. Okay. So what are your understanding about this verse?
So, my understanding is,
So Krishna
uh,
says Sarvadharman Pariteja. What do
yeah,
you understand from there?
yeah, Sarvadharman Parityaja. So, Krishna is telling we have to surrender to Krishna with a firm faith. And then it doesn't mean giving up our prescribed duty. We have to do our duty. We have to do our bhakti. We have to do our devotional service towards Krishna. It doesn't mean we don't do anything and just surrender to Krishna. And also, anyone can approach Krishna. It is not only human, or it is not only this people or that people. Anyone can approach Krishna. Anyone can surrender Krishna. Even a sinful person can also surrender to Krishna. For example, we can know the story of Mrigari. He is a very ferocious hunter. Even from the mercy of spiritual master, he surrendered towards Krishna. So that is the one point I want to tell. And whoever surrendered to Krishna, we can in the other chapters also we learned we can cross over this material ocean easily when we surrender to Krishna. And also Krishna uplift, when we surrender to Krishna, Krishna personally uplift us and he will give some knowledge. He will he will destroy our ignorance and give wherever we lack, Krishna will definitely give us knowledge when we surrender to Krishna. That is my understanding.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I just wanted to hear. Yes. Okay. Please take turn one after another. We are four or five of us here, four of us. So what we understand from this verse? This is your statement, your kind of turn to share what what understanding you have after reading this verse. You can go deep, you can, you can take 4 or 5 minutes, no problem. Wherever you wanna start, you can start, but please go ahead and start talking about it.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I will
Yeah.
go next. So with this one, with this verse, I have a realization that uh, we can surrender to Krishna only if we have the knowledge about Krishna. So just superficially, if we say somebody to surrender, they won't surrender. But the deeper knowledge in this sense, like who is Krishna and what is our relationship. So once we understand that Krishna is origin of everything, he's the creator, he's the maintainer, and he's the destroyer as well. So every living entity, non-living entity, he is the source and he is the seed-giving father. So, and he's the ultimate friend of any living being. Even though we love him or not, he loves us anyways, uh, without any condition. I mean, there is condition, but he has a kind of unconditional love. But we are like, we are waiting. We are so covered with our own mental concoction that we cannot see his mercy and his love. So once Krishna's with the help of Guru, Shastra, Sadhu, or what do you call that? Mercy, mercy of devotee. Only then we come across, then that opens a door to Krishna's world. And when we give up all when we are willing to give up our ego or our conditioning, then only we get Krishna reveals to us. So once we have that very good understanding, that's when we are ready to dive into the ocean of Krishna's world. And yes, of course, he says in here, Krishna says that surrender unto me, but also he has given us that instruction that you cannot give up your duties. That is not an option. So while doing your prescribed duty, how you can be a devotee, and also bhakti is the ultimate way to enter into Krishna's world. So that's all from my side, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Who will be next?
Bimla Mataji would like to. Okay.
Vimala Mataji is done. Veena Mataji,
Oh, okay.
Santa Mataji, and you are
Shanta
left.
Mataji. Okay. Shanta Mataji. Okay.
Are you
Yeah,
there,
then
Santa?
I may go ahead then, but yeah, if you wanted to go, bro, or I can go. Yes.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Uh, Here, yes, Krishna is saying, just surrender unto me, and all the summary is like, we need to know. I mean, we have to know, then only we can able to surrender, right? Yes, I'm thinking all positives, but just I wanted to think in a negative direction of this. Why I need to surrender? I mean, yes, Krishna have the mercy, means is he have the mercy only if I surrender? As he is so merciful, why don't you show the mercy even though if I don't surrender? And because of course, see, we are part and parcel of Krishna, because I'm completely thinking negative. I know. Just I'm completely putting the negative points here. Yes, Krishna, we came from Krishna, and Krishna have that individuality, because yes, the each living being is part and parcel of the Krishna, and uh, Krishna as independent, and where he is idempotent and all, where that part and parcel have also those things. That's where that independence, right? Krishna has the independence. That's where that soul also have that independence. That's where they are not ready to surrender as a servant, because Krishna has mix of everything. So as a part and parcel, he also have that. So as a bigger, I mean, because Krishna is a very big, and the soul is very small. Having no, why don't he show that type of mercy? Why he has to show the mercy? When only then when we surrender. These are all some negative thoughts. Maybe Manohar Prabhu, you can go ahead, Prabhu.
You had more question then. Okay. No, that's
No, no,
good.
no, no.
We'll talk about.
What I'm saying is, yes, I understood, Prabhu. Yes, in a positive terms, uh, I will tell you the my thing, but because if I'm completely thinking in a negative direction, a material direction, those are all thoughts. As we understood whole Bhagavad Gita, yes, this is a Krishna as a source, and as a we are part and parcel. Always part and parcel has to serve the bigger element. That's where we are. We need to have the servant attitude rather than the independent attitude for the master.
Right.
And being no.
So let me tell you one thing. Let me answer your question. We can see these things from different perspective, okay, from different understanding that we have. But the best process to understand and study Shastra is to see how our acharyas have seen it, how our, you know, Prabhupada has seen it, and other, acharyas in our disciple succession has seen it, and how far they have revealed. So they have very clearly said that Krishna is merciful to everybody. Krishna is otherwise, if he is not merciful, then how come people who are not his devotee has everything? They have wealth. They are living very happy life. They have everything. So it's not only that Krishna is kind to his devotee only. That's not true. He's kind to everybody. So he's giving it to everyone. It's not like that he's not giving to people who are not surrendered to him. But here, the emphasis is engaging in pure devotional service. Krishna says that there are confusion, there are doubt, there are concern. People have who is God, who is not God, where to go, where not to go. Should I worship Durga? Should I worship Kali? Should I worship Shiva? Should I worship this? Should I worship that? What is dharma? What should I do? What should I not do? This verse, in very simplified form, giving you the mantra. This verse is giving you just very simple answer of all the confusion and doubt that is out there. Should I go to Hare Krishna temple or should I go to Hindu temple? Should I go to the thousands of the society and organization all around the US or even in India. This one verse solve all the problem, all the confusion, everything. Krishna very clearly says, Sadharman Parityaja, stop. Says all of these, Varnasam dharma and other dharma, this dharma, that dharma, Hindu dharma, Muslim dharma, Sikh dharma, Jain dharma, right? And male dharma, female dharma, Raja dharma, Rank dharma, Sarapader Binur Muktena Tatprotena Nirmalam, Rishikana Rishikesa Sevanam Bhakti Uchate. All of that designation that you have, on the name of religiosity, Krishna says, reject it, abandon it, done with it. Very simple answer. It's not about who is surrendering, who is not. Just Krishna very clearly says, Sada Sabda Vishwas ke Hadir Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti Kele Sarokar Siddhya. That's the point being taught. We are far up on the paradigm. Leave everything, Krishna says. Mamekam Sharnam Maja. Come and engage in my devotional service. Engage in my surrender here means engaging fully in devotional service of Spirit Personality of Godhead. Surrender doesn't mean that, like cops does surrender and ties the hand and no. This means engage in devotional service of the Supreme Lord, not to the demigods. So those two are instructions. Sradharman Parityaja Mamekam Sarnamraja. Is key conclusive statement. And then last two line is a result of that. What will happen? Aham Tam Sarapapavyo. If you think that I'm not qualified, I cannot do it, I haven't done the bhakti so far, I'm so old to start the bhakti, I'm not born in Hindu culture, I'm not born in Sanatan background, I'm not from this part of this is written in Sanskrit, I cannot understand, this is Hindu mythology, I'm Christian. No. Whatever thing is coming as an obstacle in your way, don't worry. Very powerful words. Don't worry. You are qualified or not qualified. Sarapapavyo means whatever, restrictions you have. Sometimes people think, oh, I have been eating meat. Can I do bhakti? Yes. Stop meat and start doing bhakti. I was in Dallas. We had one person coming to our bhakti vriksha. He was retired VP from Dell company. He was retired. When he will hear everything, he'll start crying. And what he was saying, I'm too old now. Can I still do the bhakti? So the man, aham Tvam Sara Papavyo. In a flash, all of your sins will be taken away. So don't worry. And then Mokshi Shami, I will make you free. Moksha here, therefore, Mukti Hitva Sarupena Swarupena Vyavastite. Moksha here has multiple meaning. It has multiple meaning. But here you have to understand moksha here refers to going back to Krishna. That's ultimate liberation. There are different types of liberation, but Krishna says here the final moksha is that coming back to me. Mukti hitva sararupena sharupena vyavastitaha. Once jivara swarupa nitera. What is swarupa? Jivara swarupa nitera Krishna das. Engaging in pure devotional service. And then people have terms and condition. Masucha. If you have fear that I'm doing wrong, should I do Krishna's bhakti or not? Am I on the right path or not? Masucha. Don't fear. This verse, is like boiled, milk that has cream on the top, and you just have to peel the cream and release it. It's like very deep verse. It has everything. So Krishna is there assuring that engage in pure devotional service. That is the point to this verse. Engage in pure devotional service by rejecting all types of terms, if, but, that you have. They say what else loop that happens. All of that, what else? No. Masujaha. Be fearless and fully engage in my devotional service. Krishna is everything for me. Krishna is saying that. Our Acharya is saying that. Am I smart than them? No. So we have to try to take this. That's why it's called Charam verse. We have to take this verse and memorize it. It's a star verse. You have to memorize it. I can tell you that is going to be an exam also, and release it and apply it every time. Apply it always. Krishna's bhakti, Krishna's bhakti, Krishna's bhakti. It's nothing. I mean, I can keep on talking, but the point here is that Krishna is saying here that engage in his pure devotional service. Everything else he will take care. Manohar Prabhu, go ahead. Please share your understanding.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
You have already nicely explained. From this Sarva Dharman Parityaja means it implies that there are other dharmas also.
Right.
But it's saying that there is one supreme dharma, and that is implied in Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja. So you have to just surrender to me. Uh, so from that, it's implied that as you said, Prabhuji, I mean, so many different hats we wear of as a parent, as an employee, as a countryman, as a man, woman, whatever. So so many hats we wear. That's are all bodily designations. So there are some duties based on bodily designations, and there are duties based on our spiritual designation. Um, so since we are parts and parcel of Krishna, then we have to here in this verse, especially Krishna is indicating and pointing us to go to surrender to him. First of all, give up all the other dharmas and then surrender only to him. So two aspects have been simultaneously emphasized. So I think uh, uh, so we have to understand which is lower dharma and which is higher dharma. So in case of conflict, I think others have said that that doesn't imply that we neglect our lower dharma, our lower duties, like say as a family man. Um, But here it is specifically saying give up all the dharma. So it's kind of a contradictory statement to our understanding. Um, so I think we can understand that this is the highest or the pinnacle of what we want to achieve, but we may not be at that stage at this point of time. Um, so means we are not at the point of pure bhakti all the time. So we may be mixed with karma or jnana. We are taking this course. Part of it might be to increase the knowledge. Um, so I mean, so I think that pure bhakti part is still the goal, but and that's what Krishna is emphasizing.
What you said, Prabhu, is the uh, conflict.
The conflict is in terms of saying that um, Krishna, as other speakers said, uh, Krishna is not saying neglect your current duties as a family man or this that, but he's saying do that simultaneously with your highest dharma. But here he's directly saying give up your other dharma and take up this process of surrender to me specifically. So that may appear as a conflict, especially in a situation where we are in. We are in family life. We already are doing our so-called dharma based on bodily designation. So now suddenly Krishna is saying, give up all those things and surrender unto me. So that appears like a conflict. So
Oh. So, do you have time? I need to explain that.
yeah.
Okay, let me go to Gita Bhushan. It's very important that we understand because these are the essential verses, and at this point, we should be very clear. So, what surrender Krishna is talking about is explained by Baldev Vidyabhushan in his Gita Bhushan. And he says here, what really is surrender? Sarnagati. अनुकूलस्य संकल्पः प्रतिकूलस्य वर्जनम् रक्षिष्यति विश्वासो गुप्तृत्वे वर्णम तथा आत्म निक्षेपः कर्पण्य सद्विधि शरणागतः. Have you heard this verse, Prabhuji? Prabhu, have you gone through this verse before?
I think I've heard this.
Yes.
Anukulena sankalpa pratikula
Yes. So
sadhana.
that's what it is. So dharma, what is real surrender? Krishna says, anukulasya sankalpaha. Whatever is favorable in Krishna consciousness, you should do pratikulasya varjanam. And whatever is not in favor, you should reject. So Krishna is not saying here that I have no obligation for my grihastha life. I'm a grihastha. I came to Krishna consciousness when I was married. I have sons and daughters to take care. So at this point, I cannot basically leave them, or I cannot do anything different. And Krishna is also not saying that you have to do that. What he's saying that anukulasya sankalpa. But in a grihastha life, you can be meat eater. You can be wine and drug addicted. That should be virginum. That should be virginum. So our dharma as a grihastha, taking care of our family is very important. Very, very important. Taking care of our sons and daughter. But doing arti, eating prasadam, reading name of Krishna's, chanting name of Krishna, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, that is bhakti. That's beyond dharma. And partikul, anything, you know, Vishaya Sangraha, too much intensity for uh, wealth accumulation, too much worry for the future. Sometimes one may say, why? I'm not saying that. Krishna is saying that. Let's see what he says. Rakshisyati Vishwasho. What does it mean? Have faith that Krishna will protect you. Didn't he protect Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj? Did he not protecting all the living being? Why not he will protect to devotee? So Rakshishyati Vishwasu. Having that firm conviction, the similar verse in a different way, that my dear Lord Krishna will protect me. You know, Gopatrive, Goptritve Varnam Tatha. And Goptritve means depending, depending on Krishna. Take shelter on Krishna. Okay, we have to depend. Krishna will help me, but we have to depend on Krishna. Okay, and then there is Varnam Tatha, accepting dependence on the Lord and placing oneself fully to the Lord. That is Atma Nikchepa, means depending that Krishna will, believing that Krishna will help me, and then putting oneself. Mirabai said, very simple. Mere to Girdhar Gopal dusro na koi. Very no, pure devotee, supremely pure devotee. Okay, and Karpanya, having meekness, humility. These are, Krishna says, the symptom of surrender. But I wanted to focus on this one, on Kulasya Sankalpa particular. Krishna is not saying that you should dharma, you should not engage in any activity. Sadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam. Sadharman, our acharyas have explained it. Means Krishna is saying that partikulasya varjanam, anything which is not in favor. Instead of going on Friday night, having a party with materialistic people and talking about how Bill Gates is doing so good, how Google is doing good, and having wine and beer and this politics, that politics, sleeping late, getting up in the morning. What is it doing for you? Nothing. When you get up in the morning, you are the same person, same thing. I think that get up, prepare, do something for Krishna consciousness. So particulars, anything that is not in our favor, that has to be rejected. Prabhupada also in his commentary in Bhagavad Gita to this verse has very much cited what Baldev Vidyabhushan is saying. Same thing. According to devotional process, one should simply accept such religious principles that will lead ultimately to the devotional service of the Lord. One may perform a particular occupational duty according to his position in the social order, but if by executing this duty one does not come to the point of Krishna consciousness, all these activities are in vain. Dharma Shwanutishta Pumsha Vishwakshena Kathashriyat Na Utpadate Adiratim Sarmevahi Kevalam. So that Sarmevahi Kevalam, that hard work, which is not going to give taste for Krishna, which is not awakening the bhakti, Sarmevahi Kevalam, Shastra says. That's what is being said here. So if you will read Prabhupada's purport, it's very clearly mentioned that what one should do and what one should not do. But Prabhupada is not advising us that we should leave our Grihastha ashram or not do the duties that is supposed to be done as Grihastha, rather do in a very Krishna conscious way. Right? Like for example, I can tell you, at my house, my wife is taking care of all of our deities, taking care of and I'm free. I'm serving temple. So we are in Grihastha ashram, but we have a good partnership, good friendship. She is taking care of temple, home, deities, cooking, arti, prasadam. She is engaged in her capacity. I'm engaged in my capacity. She has given me opportunity to serve. Without her, I can't serve the way I'm doing right now. So that's partnership, on Kulasya Sankalpa. Having a good, partnership and serving, for higher purpose. So that, anything that is not wanted, anukulasya, that has to be abandoned. That's what Krishna is saying. And then if there is any fear, what will happen if I do this? Sometimes you will hear people will say, I have been doing this bhakti over 60 years. Nothing has happened. Krishna says, no, 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 no. Mahasuchaha, do not fear. Just engaging the devotional service. Okay, so what is time right now? 12:05. I can take 5 more minutes. So, which book should we read next? Nectar of Devotion or Nectar of Instruction? Please tell me.
NOI.
You want NOI?
Yeah,
Okay,
and then we can go to NOT.
okay. So this is how I did in last batch. Any other instruction? Any other opinion? Should we read net? I think it's a good idea to read Nectar of Instruction. 18 verses, very quick. We'll get done to it.
11.
11, sorry, yes, right. 11 verses. Yeah, Ishopanishad has 18 verses, I believe. 18 or 19. You're right. So, should we go into Nectar of Instruction? Anybody has any objection? Mataji's, Prabhuji's? I'm here at your at your service. Please tell me.
Prabhuji, it, I'm okay with any of it, whatever you decide, Prabhuji, because I have not read the book before, so it will be a treat anyways.
Right. Okay. So I think I'll make the announcement in another batch that we are going to study Nectar of Instruction because you all want to go through Nectar of Instruction, which is, I think, a good decision. I would also read Nectar of Instruction first because it also gives some terms that helps one to understand Nectar of Devotion. But for sure, Isopanishad will be the last one. That I'm not going to negotiate. That I'll take the privilege as a teacher because Prabhu, I struggled. I said, it's all talking about my recording this. Okay, it sounds like that. So, okay, so Nectar of Instruction. Is it good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So last 2 minutes, what are the things that you would like to see improving here? Everything is good, or there's certain specific one, not too many advices because I don't have much time. Just one or two things that we can do to make it more effective for you, more discussions, you know, or more, visual presentation, or what you think we should do, or just continue with the way we are doing.
Yes, Prabhuji. We are in a right phase, I think. We are
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
it.
yes. Yeah, we are. I think it's going to be very quick now. Bhagavad Gita takes the longest time. Okay, so
Means
let's.
real-time examples, Prabhu. Means if
Uh,
you some real-time examples means any any specific like whoever uh, doing those qualities means relatively I'll say.
yeah, we'll do Mataji. So there is this confusion. Let me stop sharing, okay, so that I can